Hi y'all, Sat Sri Akal. This is Tak from BIPOC Executive Search getting at you today for the Wellness and Work podcast. A podcast where I share stories and tips to keep you healthy, happy, and motivated for your day job. Our topic for today are 5 productivity hacks to get more done in less time. And as you know, I always love to start this podcast with a story from my own personal life. And the one that I'll share today is from when I was writing my book, Self-Care Down There. So this was in 2019. First of all, even just feeling worthy of being an author took a lot of energy. I was terrified to sign the contract with the publisher, but I said yes, and I made space in order to do so. But at the time, I was not only writing my book, I was also in grad school working on my PhD dissertation and working some part-time jobs on the side as a teaching assistant, as a graduate assistant. So rest assured, I had a lot on the go, and I had committed to writing the book within a period of 8 weeks. So I literally had, a very, very strict due date to the publisher to be able to write the book, get the first 100% complete manuscript to them within an 8-week period. And honestly, I was kind of terrified about how I was going to fit all of this into my day. So I started off by reading and listening to tons and tons of productivity podcasts and books to make sure that I was optimizing my day, my work schedule, my efficiency, so that I could get all of this done. And I did. I managed to not only finish the book and complete it and get it published, but I was able to stay on track with my dissertation, graduating on time, as well as completing all of my teaching tasks and working. So somehow I managed to do so. And by somehow, I mean by using some of the tips that I'm going to share with you today. So going into the 5 productivity hacks to get more done in less time, I find this is so important when working a 9 to 5, just because of how easy it is for us to, start a little bit earlier, end our days a little bit later, just to get everything done. But I do find if we use these tips, we can actually get more done in less time and just excel in our job, in our businesses, and more. So tip number 1 that I learned, especially during that time, is to turn our personal phone on silent and silence any notifications. Notifications are just asking for distractions, for you to get out of your deep focus. And I find just that noise constantly going off doesn't allow our brains to go into a really deep focus mode. So for instance, when I was writing my book, I would check my email once in the morning, once at lunchtime, and once at the end of the day, as opposed to constantly checking it throughout the day. I had my phone on airplane mode so that I wouldn't get any calls or text messages during my deep work time. And this has been a practice that I've continued on, and I feel that it's led to how successful I've been in my current job, in grad school, in terms of the excellence of the work that I was able to produce in order to get research funding and scholarships, and just overall do really well in my career. So turning off those notifications is such a small thing, but it makes such a big difference. Number 2 is to do your deep work during a certain part of the day that corresponds with your own, energy levels. For me, deep work time, my best writing time is in the mornings between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., just before lunchtime. And I can literally just get so much deep work done during that time, especially using that first tip with my notifications off. So this might look different for different people. For some people, it might be in the afternoon. For some people, it might be very, very early in the morning. So just figuring out when's the best time that you are able to do your deep work, and really making sure that you're protecting that time of day and getting those things done, whether that's writing. Oftentimes it can be writing or producing content, meeting with clients, trying to do that deep work, whatever it looks like for you and your job during that particular time of day, when your energy is the highest. Number 3 is sleep. This is such an underrated thing in our society because of, people feeling like they need to stay up late and watch TV as their downtime or their rest time, or, compromising on our sleep because we feel like we don't have enough hours to get things done during the day. When in fact, if we actually slept more, we would feel so much energized and be so much more efficient during the day. And it's just been such a game changer for me, is protecting my sleep time makes me so much more productive, such a happier person, such a nicer person to work with as well. So absolutely, this isn't even a hack. This is a must do, making sure we're getting that solid 8 hours every night, having our phone off, just making sure we're taking that time to recover and sleep as our bodies need it. Number 4 is to take regular breaks. So one thing I like to do is set a timer, especially when I was writing my book, Self-Care Down There, for those 8 weeks. I would set a timer for usually 35 minutes. That was like a long enough time for me to get something done. And then I would take a 5-minute break where I got up, I, did some laps around my apartment or my house, went outside, got some water, pet my dog, and then went back to it. And then every few hours, I would take a longer break to make sure I was eating and nourishing my body. And taking breaks is just known to improve productivity, especially movement breaks. So there was a study done on school children who took a math test, and some of them, half of them, just, got up, went to school, took the math test. The other half got up, went to school, did 20 minutes of just running around and playing outside, and then took the math test. And the study found that the people who went outside and played first did significantly better on the test than those who did not. So taking those breaks, especially movement breaks of just moving our bodies, stretching, getting away from the screen, actually helps us perform better at our jobs and get more done in the time that we do have. And then number 5 is to do a brain download and use it to map out timelines and our time management schedule. So in a previous podcast, I've talked about ditching the to-do list, moving more towards a time management schedule. So when it comes to a brain download, what essentially you're doing is taking a blank piece of paper and writing down everything that's rattling around in your brain for your work, for your home life, and listing everything out. So creating that to-do list by listing everything out, more of a brain download. And then you take that time and you chunk it and put it into your calendar. So this time of day, literally creating an invite for yourself to do particular tasks at particular times of day. And that's just going to help you stay on track of everything, get it out of your brain so you're not staying up at night thinking about it, and making sure that it's in your actual schedule to get done. So just to recap, 5 productivity hacks to get more done in less time. The first one is to turn your personal phone on silent and silence any notifications even on your work computer or your work phone as much as you possibly can, so you're getting the least amount of noise disturbances throughout the day and limiting the amount of distractions that you have. Number 2 is to do deep work during the part of day that you have the most amount of energy. So figuring out what that looks like for you. Number 3 is to sleep. Sleep. Making sure that we're getting those 8 hours of sleep every night, not creating any excuses around it, just literally doing it and seeing what a difference it makes in terms of your productivity. You can even experiment with it for, a week, see how you do, and then see, whether it improved your efficiency at work, your mood, your happiness. Guarantee it will. Number 4 is to take regular breaks. So making sure we're getting up, we're moving our bodies, every 20 minutes to 35 minutes, because ultimately it's going to make us more productive by giving our minds, bodies, spirits that step away from our laptops, from the screens, and just allowing us to, do what humans are meant to do, which is get up and walk around and go look for food. And then number 5, last but not least, to do a brain download. So taking a blank piece of paper, writing down everything that we're thinking about in terms of things that we have to do on the personal front, on the work front, and then mapping out timelines. So this is something that I didn't touch on when I was going through it before, but basically looking at, the long view of the calendar, whether that's, a full quarter, 3 months, and mapping things out week by week. How is this all going to go down? When can I do what? What weeks do I need to accomplish things by? And then putting it into our daily calendar. So setting appointments for each one of those tasks so that it gets done within that time frame and we can stay on top of things, we can be proactive. I hope these resonated with you all. They definitely help me to get more done in less time so that I have time to, live my best life, do my hobbies, spend time with my partner and my dog, and, just enjoy life as well. So I'll leave it there for now. Sending you all so much love. Talk to you soon. Bye.